Hello everyone, this is Quadrant giving you a shoutcast in Game 2 in a series between Todd and DieStar here in the Delta Quadrant. Todd spawning as the red Protoss player this time at what I'll call the 8 o'clock position. Meanwhile, DieStar spawning as the purple Terran all the way across the map here at the 2 o'clock position. So this is going to be cross spawn here in the Delta Quadrant, and I am looking forward to this matchup. Delta Quadrant, many consider it to be a very Terran favored map. I would tend to agree just because of the amount of open space and the ability for effective air units to just fly around the map and harass. And in this game so far, we now have a supply depot currently being built on the front door, and we'll see what happens with that. Front door supply depots against Protoss don't normally work out well, as a stalker is able to get into this position here and try to deal some damage on this front door, putting a little bit of pressure. Normally a front door supply depot with a barracks indicates that it is going to be Banshee play if you only go for Marines and then a factory without a tech lab. There's that barracks over there now. We may get another supply depot here eventually, and then perhaps a bunker. I highly suggest a bunker here as opposed to using a factory to try to wall that off. As one simple stalker right here can gain sight, start dealing damage around, and then you have to get your Marines in this very small location here in order to try to fight back. There is a gateway and now an assimilator coming in from Todd, so Todd pretty much sticking to that standard Protoss build that most professionals use, nothing too out of the ordinary. We should be seeing another pylon followed by a cybernetics core in just a moment in order for him to continue with that series. And yes, it is going to be a pylon followed by a cybernetics core. I believe that Todd will be supply locked for just a little bit of time. Oh wait, I forget that pylons only take 25 seconds to build instead of 30. So yeah, no real problem there. Overlords and pylons take 25 seconds to build. Supply depots take 30. I've asked Blizzard why. They said that it was for the tech tree reasons, and that's why supply depots take a little bit longer to build. So there's that second supply depot that I was talking about. A barracks without gas, so without a tech lab. So we should be seeing a factory, and then after that factory, we should be also seeing another Vespene Geyser if it is going to be Banshee play. The SCB now wandering around on the inside here, and the SCB sees a second assimilator as well. So with Protoss, you really don't know what his strategy is going to be. If he goes for double gas like this, he could be going crazy enough for a Sentry Fast Expand. Sentry Fast Expand is very, very effective in that it allows you to get a lot of sentries early. And then sentries with so much energy for force field are able to block ramps and deal so much damage. There's a lot of talk about whether or not sentries are overpowered. I'll talk about that some other day if anyone cares to ask me. There's that bunker on that front door now. There's that factory, and now another supply depot. No Vespene Geyser yet, so DieStar may not be going for Banshees like I originally thought, but now we have a proxy Twilight Council. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Todd now after going double gas, maybe trying to go for Dark Templar, and if he warps in a pylon here, he should be able to just simply walk Dark Templar straight into that base. One of the just very, very effective strategies here on the Delta Quadrant, and one of the ways that Protoss can try to abuse this map. So wait, I guess he's waiting for that Twilight Council to finish. As soon as that Twilight Council is done, we may be getting a Dark Shrine. Yeah, there's that Dark Shrine, and now out moves this probe. The probe going to come in over here. The Marine making sure that there is no pylon here, and and he makes his way over here, and then starts shooting at those destructible rocks. So very, very smart move by DieStar. DieStar wanting to make sure that he doesn't take that much damage, or he doesn't get backdoored here in the Delta Quadrant. The Dark Shrine does take quite a bit of time in order to warp in, and you can see that there are 2 additional gateways as well. I do not think Todd should have just enough gas in order to warp in 3 Dark Templars, and we'll see how much mileage he is able to get out of those Dark Templars there. And we can see what currently a Zealot and a Stalker in the front. No probe yet, so that probe will be coming around that backside, and there we go, talking about that backdoor pylon. This one Marine will be able to spot that pylon. There it is. There's that pylon now warping in, and Todd doesn't. Oh, now Todd now sees that pylon is taking some damage. The Stalker now trying to fight back. Siege Tank is able to outrange it, so this is going to be a little bit of an issue there. As this one pylon now taking damage, is it going to get canceled? It may get canceled into, is it? No, yes, it does get canceled, and there's that second pylon. So just pylon just trying to be warped in, and Todd, who invested so heavily into a Dark Templar, will not be able to get that much damage done. What he could try to do is he could try to warp in one Dark Templar, run it up into the front over here, try to start slashing and start eating up some of those, that energy from that orbital command. If he's able to do that, oh, that one pylon, once again, it will get taken down. Todd, I'm not quite sure what he's really trying to do in this situation. He's trying to warp in units across the gap, but yeah, canceling that one pylon, gonna cancel another one here. Command center now being landed, and now warping in 3 additional pylons. So perhaps he's trying to just use the regeneration rate on those pylons, making it so that he's able to at least warp into something at some point. Oh, this pylon is now destroyed. This pylon most likely will get destroyed as well, as a Stalkers or a Dark Templar was trying to test open up that front door. SCVs were able to come over and intercept and repair it. Are we going to get an actual Dark Templar in this location? No, unable to, as the siege tanks. One Dark Templar is being warped in right there, and it's going to start slicing its way, taking down multiple of those siege tanks. Is it going to be able to take it down? No, I do not believe so, as a second Dark Templar now coming in as well. That siege tank now trying to pull away. Another siege tank is taken down, and 2 Dark Templar are in this location, now trying to run away. So Todd, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And now there are Dark Templars inside the base of Empire DieStar. This is just going to completely catch DieStar off guard. He's waiting for that energy down at 49 energy right now, trying to get some of those SCVs and those Marines. Dark Templars now making their way over here. That one Dark Templar now being forced to pull back once again. Another Dark Templar here, and that Dark Templar going straight for that missile turret. And I do not believe that the missile turret will get taken down in time, especially as SCVs are going to come in over and repair. And now this Dark Templar just causing harassment inside this base. Another scanner sweep revealing that Dark Templar, and I believe the supply depot, yes, is now burning. But there is an SCV coming over in order to repair it. This one pylon finally will get shut down, and Todd, running off of 3 gateways and now a robotics facility, and also getting a 4th gateway, is going to be transitioning into a different strategy. There is 1 Dark Templar here, 1 pylon here, and those units are just sitting pretty, waiting to do something else. DieStar, taking a look at his harvester count, down to 36 harvesters, so he did lose a fair amount of harvesters. His economy is a little bit weaker, but unit-wise, both players have very small armies. 775 coming in from Todd. DieStar sitting at 1100, and remember, we are 10 minutes into this game. Zealots now attempting to take down these destructible rocks. Another Nexus would be very strong for Todd, as both players have seemed to bunker up just a little bit more than I would like to see. We're not going to have any action or engagement in a little bit, but we are getting more training and production out of DieStar. DieStar also getting that Raven. That Raven, very, very important, as you do not want to be using scanner sweeps in order to try to detect Dark Templar. 1 Raven goes a long way. Also 2 really great spells with that auto turret and with that point defense drone. Seeker Missile is also another great spell, just not used nearly as much as the Seeker Missile, and moves so slowly. It is my dream one day that the Seeker Missile will be effectively useful against Mutalisks once again. We can see the faculty lifting off this 1 starport. He may be trying to go for a reactor, enabling him to get more and more medevacs. We'll see what happens in just a moment as more Marines are being trained. The Marines do not have the combat shield or stim pack yet. And also the Marauders don't have concussive shell. So this infantry army is pretty bare bones at this stage. Another barracks being placed down with a tech lab. We can see a reactor being placed down here and another tech lab on a barrack. So this is going to become mass infantry. But the engineering weapons upgrade is... Oh, I was going to say he's not researching, and then he did start researching, and then he decided to cancel it again. Okay, so I don't know what he's trying to do. At some point, the engineering bay research should start, and now we'll see what exactly that Todd tries to do here. Todd is going to be able to take down these destructible rocks. He is getting Psystorm. I do not see a robotics bay though, so without robotics bay he's not going to be able to get Colossus. Colossus on this ledge would be very, very deadly towards these to these SCVs. SCVs, they tend to stack, they are in a very, very tight ball, and 1 round of attack, it isn't unheard of for 1 round of attack from a Colossus to deal about 200 damage against SCVs. Another set of destructible rocks going to get taken down over here. Immortals, the main backbone of this DPS now, especially against that very effective 3 armor that destructible debris and destructible rocks have. 1 pylon. We should be getting a nexus here and here as well. Amulet research now underway as the expansion is now getting mined as well. So this is going to be a 3 base play versus 2. Todd has an economic advantage at 2,100 minerals versus 1,400. And now with that 1 Raven in the air, the Raven does have enough for a point defense drone. The Marines have combat shield. Production-wise, no weapons upgrade yet. We are finally going into a forge from Todd, so Todd may opt to go for a weapons upgrade. And now DieStar moving around with this other army may be able to poke its head into this location here and deal some damage towards this nexus. 1 poor SCV gonna quickly try to walk in through the center. Not going to work. Siege tanks are sieging up, and there's that Psy Storm across siege tanks and Marines and Marauders. Zealots have Zealot charge, and that was absolutely beautiful as those Immortals now continue to push in. More Psy Storm feedback onto the Raven. Nicely done. And now Dark Templars could be joining in just a moment, but Todd overexposing himself, not realizing how much damage is actually composed of in this army. And now DieStar giving chase against those Immortals. He should at least leave 1 Immortal to try to turn around and fight back, and that is just really, really bad there. Todd going to lose many of his Immortals, and now DieStar just continuing to attack, move, and the Psy Storm was not nearly as effective as I thought it would be, as he didn't hit the infantry units trying to deal damage towards those stationary siege tanks instead. Zealots and a High Templar now joining in. Another Psy Storm coming in, and wow, a lot of damage being dealt there. So those Stalkers may be able to come in. More Marauders coming in from that far side. The Medevacs need to try to run away and try to fight another day. And wow, Todd losing much of his army in that engagement. Income-wise, though, he still has the advantage. And as long as he's able to continually produce, he should be fine. But Todd now getting in 5 gateways. That may be too much. He's definitely thinking about late game. But with DieStar with such a dominant army as well, with such a dominant army, he may want to try to play a little bit more defensively. Gateway now currently being warped in, so 5 gateways, another pylon here, and now out moves this army, and now in comes 6 High Templar. Those High Templars are going to be able to create a rainy day for many of these infantry and SCV units. Psy Storm very, very effective against highly densely packed units. You can see that this gold mineral expansion is pretty well saturated. This expansion well saturated as well, and the main base should be well saturated in just a moment. Multiple gateways now down. So with 5 more gateways in play, what is the gateway count? Gateway count is now sitting at 12. So 14 gateways. 14 gateways. That means you can instantly deploy to the field 14 Zealots with Zealot charge and also Armor 1 upgrade. So in comes these units here, now going to try to surround, get some damage. High Templar need to come in from the back as well. Psy Storm needs to be cast. Psy Storm across multiple Marauders over there. Marauders now trying to move in, and now more Psy Storm. Just multiple Psy Storms, beautiful Psy Storms. And now Empire DieStar is now a little bit on the defensive once again, but it looks like he has enough of a standing army. The High Templar trying to get some feedback on some other units, and now these Archons are not going to be able to do all too much at all. 70 or now 1775 versus 2300, and you may be wondering why Todd is just exchanging armies. Todd knows at this point in the game he can exchange armies all he wants because he is up on expansions. He's currently running off of 3 bases with a much heavier probe saturation, 2000 versus 1800. And now he also knows that his opponent DieStar cannot try to move out all too effectively. We now see DieStar sitting on still 0-0 upgrades when we are going to have 1-2 upgrades on the Zealots and the Stalkers in just a moment. Those Immortals with a base 3 armor should be able to absorb a lot of damage even from those Marines. But there are some Ghosts now in the mix. Ghosts now in the mix definitely means that those High Templars may not be able to get off as nearly as many Psy Storms as they want. Army-wise, you can see now Todd pretty much back neck and neck into this. 1 SCV down over here spots this expansion. Not going to be able to do much. 1 Stalker going to warp in right behind that SCV and shoot him in the back. There he goes. We now have another SCV coming over here, and now DieStar realizes how bad of a situation he really is in, as that Photon Cannon did not get that last shot in here. And now another Nexus being placed down by Todd, so Todd will be able to mine off of 4 bases in just a moment. Colossus in the center, and now there are some siege tanks, but I do not believe there are enough Vikings, especially with that extended thermal lance range coming in. But we are now going to get personal cloaking on those Ghosts. those Ghosts, if they're able to EMP Shockwave the Immortals and those High Templars, that is going to be a very, very bad day. Siege tanks now sieging up Marauders and Marines, using Stim Pack and finding absolutely nothing at this eye. The Xel'Naga Watchtower, pretty much nothing there, as Todd did do a decent retreat. Zealots now trying to come in. Zealots are charging into this group here. Psystorm, EMP Shockwave hitting off multiple units, but we should be getting off a Psystorm onto that group right there. Psystorm hitting multiple units, and now just hitting multiple Marauders, and there's the GG. So yeah, even though Todd was exchanging armies and pretty effectively for a while, he was just exchanging army after army after army. DieStar did not lose nearly as much. Todd knew that his macro would be able to carry him through this game. You can see DieStar just mining off of these 8 mineral patches. Not much left to mine here. Nothing to mine here. While Todd having these 6 mineral patches, gold mineral patches, these 6 gold mineral patches are nearly mined out, but it's not too difficult to transfer these probes to this nexus over here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Todd and DieStar here in the Delta Quadrant. Game 3 will be coming up, so it is a best of 3 matchup between Todd and DieStar.